Educator preparation programs provide some of the scaffolding needed for a teaching career, but teachers face new questions that arise once they step into the classroom. Teacher mentoring programs provide teacher candidates with an experienced teacher, ongoing support, and practical experience to build their teaching practice. In Louisiana, teacher candidates in more than 25 teacher preparation programs participate in a year-long mentoring program through the state's Believe and Prepare teacher residency program. Each teacher resident is paired with an experienced mentor teacher who provides guidance in an authentic classroom setting.
Most of the teachers who work in Louisiana are prepared here, and so that means that the strength of preparation in our state has a huge impact on the strength of our educator workforce. Back in 2014, we were trying to understand what was going well with regard to teacher preparation, and so to get an understanding of that, the first thing that we did is we surveyed new teachers, principals, district leaders, and teacher preparation faculty around the state. One of the key findings for that survey is that both our school systems and our teacher preparation faculty really talked about the importance of the student teaching experience with regard to teacher preparation, and both also indicated that they thought there was room to strengthen that partnership. And so as a result of that survey, what we thought about is what would it look like to strengthen the partnership and really expand the amount of practice that new teachers receive before they enter the profession.
Research around Believe and Prepare is a priority for the REL Southwest because our Louisiana Department of Education partner is implementing that program for all teacher candidates across the state. We're taking a look at teachers teaching in-field and out-of-field and some other pertinent factors that relate to placement of teachers around the state.
REL Southwest is working with the Louisiana Department of Education to provide research-based evidence on Believe and Prepare by studying the performance and retention of first-year teachers who participated in the Believe and Prepare pilot and assisting the Louisiana Department of Education with a survey of principals and teacher mentors to better understand their experiences with the program.
In terms of the specific elements of Believe and Prepare, I would highlight three things. One is that Believe and Prepare tries to respond to some of the teacher labor market dynamics that we see, and in particular, rural school systems generally have a more challenging time recruiting teacher talent, and there are some elements of Believe and Prepare that try to tailor student teaching so that there are better connections between teacher education programs and the rural school systems. A second element is that Believe and Prepare has some components that try to ensure that there is a high quality mentor. And then the third element, which is pretty unique, is that the internship is a year long, and typically student teaching takes place over 6 weeks.
In 2019, we started allowing other organizations to apply to be approved providers. So any organization can apply to the State Board of Education in Louisiana to become an approved mentor teacher training provider. Currently, we have about 25 approved providers for mentor teacher training. They're trained to really build strong relationships, to understand content and curriculum, and also to facilitate inquiry cycles. So that's facilitating reflection and improvement.
During residency, our teacher candidates are placed with high-quality mentors who serve as co-teachers to our residents. So strong district-university partnerships are critical to the success of our mentoring program, and research suggests that well-designed and well-implemented teacher residency models can create long-term benefits for the districts, because the goal is for those teachers that are trained in those schools, we want them to stay in those schools. And so they would understand the students they're working with, they would understand the school environment, and would not have a problem making that transition. We understand that in order for a teacher candidate to become an effective teacher, they must practice, practice, practice teaching.
What I've learned is, as a mentor, I really have to try to find their strengths and weakness to see how can I make their strength work for them and how can I build their weakness up. Because they go in, they want to teach, they want to be there, but it's just trying to pour into them to help them be better.
I can give an example, like, let's just say if I do a live recording and in the lesson I see that a student isn't paying attention to what I'm saying, so she'll either show me how I can get their attention or what can I do to grasp that one student that's not paying attention throughout the whole lesson. So she'll say, you do this and then maybe they'll be more attentive, or speak louder and maybe they'll try to focus on what you're saying and actually be able to give you an answer.
Over the next 18 months, REL Southwest will continue to examine Louisiana's Believe and Prepare and the program's relationship to teacher outcomes, such as teacher retention and mobility, and will support the Louisiana Department of Education in the continuous improvement of the Believe and Prepare program's implementation. This video is funded by the Institute of Education Sciences, IES, and was developed by the Regional Educational Laboratory, REL Southwest. REL Southwest works in partnership with educators and policymakers to develop, identify, and use research evidence that improves academic outcomes for students. To learn more about REL programs, visit our website, subscribe to our Twitter feed, and sign up to receive our newsletters and other publications.